I've done most of the things that
I read the script for the movie in, it's like April, and I was in school at the time, so I didn't have time to read it, and then I found out the director Greg wanted to meet me the next day. That is true, by the way. That's a cool thing for them. I just remembered. That's why so I read the script the day before I met him and thought it was incredible. And then I met him, and I was signed on to several independent movies at the time that were not getting made. And the way Greg kind of described the movie, it seemed like it might be the same process, that like it would be so difficult to get it made. I didn't even know if I would be in it at the time. And then his movie came out, Superbad came out a few months later, and then like the next day, everything started moving forward because the movie was so successful, and the companies realized that he was could make something that make money, however it works.
What about you, Chris?
I met him after Superbad was already out, and so the movie was greenlit. Yeah, and the script is autobiographical a little bit. I mean, not to the T, but he worked at a park and had like a funky time of it. But it's very sincere, and and it all sounds like, well, of course that's what you want in a movie, but it really is like very genuine and honest and not cliche. So, and he's such a sweet guy. I was like, really wanted to work with him, and I thought Superbad was pretty great too.
Well, as Kristen said, it was kind of like a little autobiographical. So Greg talked to us about that time. Not that his experience was so alien to our experience. But they also handed us a binder on the first day of rehearsal, like a 6-inch binder of like irrelevant facts from the '80s, as though we would like improvise. Throw out the names of whoever was.
Big on Wall Street.
Right, exactly. Head of social services. Really just being on the set, everything, because it was like a period piece, and everything on the set was like, everything on the set was like realistic, but also funny, and so it was kind of created this nice world that you could feel, it was that much more easy to immerse yourself in the world because it was, unique.
I did this before I did Twilight. No, and then subsequently, having finished and done other projects, I've been asked that, and no, it's so hard to define exactly like why I choose to do projects, and it's not like I have this really brilliant foresight and I'm like, oh, Twilight's gonna be big. So no, I can only do something if I feel like I have to. And so there's not like a whole lot of choice. I just go with what I'm like, oh yeah, I really have to do that. And I just, no, I don't have like some grand scheme. It's so much worse now, because before I was just like, nothing. I was just like, an actor in the movie. I mean, and not that I'm... That's not what I mean. Nothing.
I meant more in the sense like, do you have more confidence from going in front of a large group of people?
No, much
Really?
much less. Oh my God, yeah. Because I mean, this is like, it's so different from. It's never like seeped through. One movie is never like, sort of interfered with the next. It's
Yes.
always been very isolated, independent experiences, and this was like. Undeniably, half of the girls sitting there weren't, I mean, maybe they liked Adventureland, but they weren't like, Adventureland, it was more like, so it's a little weird. It feels like you should be doing something for it. Like, like I don't know. You feel like a monkey. Like you don't feel like it's weird. Like you don't feel like deserving of.
Would you take the point of view that maybe like the products you do from now on will like open up, you know, other films up that maybe this audience wouldn't have seen before because of the success of Twilight? Like, is that something that, you know, makes you feel better about it at least?
Yeah, I like Twilight. It's just the effect of it is sort of like it's not hard to deal with. It's just different. Yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully, I don't know. I mean, the adverse will probably happen as well.
No, summer that started bad for me as it returned good. It's gotten worse as the summer would go on. I had like a brief bad job, but right. But again, it was like it just got worse as it went on until I quit and cried. Yeah, I mean, like the character in the movie has like these lofty ideals, which I do as well, and then like. Well, yeah, similarly, like as an actor, you sometimes like find yourself like doing something that seems like less sophisticated than you had hoped to do. Not like, you know, doing menial labor at like an amusement park, but like, you know, doing like, you know, like a silly movie or something like that. And that's kind of similar, you know, to the movie.
I was like a compilation of a couple of girls that he dated when he was younger. Really sort of like, you know, complicated, messed up, sort of damaged girls. Yeah, so a couple girls. You could ask him about those girls. I bet they're interesting stories.
Was it hard for you knowing that you were sort of playing him?
No, it was great. I mean, the script was, I think, really good because of that, because it was like a personal thing, and no, I mean, it was. I think the movie was just better for it that it came from a personal experience, because the movie feels that way. It feels like really personal, and you know, it's an actor. It's nice because you could, you know, have like maybe a more substantive conversation about the character than if it was, you know, if he was like a hired director and somebody else wrote it and it was not a personal thing.
Yeah, it is weird. It's not something that I like to do at all. I like to play younger. You feel like you have more control. I mean, she's kind of immature, I guess. She's very she hasn't really been able to like emotionally progress. Like she's very you know, it's weird. She's like sort of like the semi like, I mean, I guess kind of like rogue, like bad girl, whatever. But that's like the most she can't. I felt like it was easier because she's like an completely incapable, immature adult, and then at the same time, you know, really smart. But no, nothing specific. I don't know. She's very whole. She's very defined. So it's not like I had to like fill in the gaps.
Yeah, he gave us like what he wanted to be the soundtrack of the movie, like right when we started filming, and it was great. Yeah, some of the bands on there I mean I heard of but didn't like know well, like the Replacements that opens up the movie. They're really great. And oh, Big Star you really liked, right?
I really liked Big Star, but I don't know if they're an '80s band. I think they're
maybe they're
older.
And Lou Reed, I had known because he's still, I mean, he's obviously still very popular, but that was a big part of the script as well. Yeah,
my kneecaps are like purple. It's really embarrassing.
Did you watch the movie and actually look at your knees and see that they were purple at the time?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. If you watch it, my knees are purple.
I'm sure some creepy man is going to never watch it.
Yeah, I know.
I just watched your kneecaps the whole movie.
You said that like really aggressively. That was like, that usually doesn't come out of Jesse.
That's not me. No, I mean, I didn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it's a little daunting, but what's even sort of more daunting is I just got cast in a movie called The Runaways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, yeah.
I'm gonna play Joan Jett in between New Moon and Eclipse. Luckily, I do play guitar, and she's, especially when she was younger, always very quick to point out that she just plays basic rhythm guitar. And so it's not, I mean, power chords, basically, they're great, but they're just simple. It's like, it's punk rock, it's easy. They want to do it live. They're hoping to get. I don't know where they're gonna find like the Lita Fords and the Sandy Wests. They're like brilliant musicians, but they do want to do it live. Joan was sort of, she sang a couple songs, but typically she was backup vocals. Cherie Currie is the sort of like front man, but she'll have to sing. She'll have to sing live.
Oh, they're lucky to have him. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Barack Obama said a great thing yesterday. He said, like, he was actually, I think, paraphrasing somebody else. I don't know who it was, but he was saying, or maybe it was Martin Luther King. No, it was Martin Luther King. Said, like, if your job is to like sweep the floor, you should be the best floor sweeper in the world. And it's a really nice sentiment, that you could take pride regardless of what you do.